Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of What the Quote. I'm so excited because I have really missed y'all. I have taken a break because I had a lot of stuff going on. The main thing that I had going on was planning a wedding and getting married. So, congratulations to me and Dennis. We're super excited. So, the quote that I'm talking about today is from David Rich. I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly. And the quote is: Our wounds are often the openings into the best and most beautiful parts of us. So, let's listen to my theme music and then we're going to jump right in.
And with the quote, we create kind humans who speak kindness, show kindness. Be a kind human. Be a kind human.
So here's the thing about wounds. Nobody wants them. Because in order for you to have a wound, that means you've gotten hurt. Something may be broken, bleeding, dislocated. Um, and that might include your heart. Your heart might have been broken. None of us, nobody is like, yay, come on, yeah, I want to be hurt. I want to be broken. I want to experience the pain of that. None of us are saying that. And I also know that even in my own personal life, it is at those times that have been the most painful that I have learned so much about myself, which, brings up the fact that there's this kind of dance. I recently heard somebody say that everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. And it's the same thing. Like we all want to grow, we all want to be our best selves, but the thought of the the work that it takes, the test that only allows for a testimony, like that's the part that I am a little resistant to. And while I'm not saying we should all be like, yay, I want to be hurt. Yay, I want to experience pain. No, none of us are excited about that. But in those times where we have been given that gift, maybe we can release the neck of, I don't want it to happen, and open our hands up and realize the gift of it happening. And so one of the ways, a couple of the ways that I have experienced wombs was through divorce and also through death. I don't know what yours have been, but those have been two of my most impactful things. And so this episode, I actually want to dedicate to my little cousin, um, Anthony Jr., who tragically passed a few weeks ago. And, it's the gift that he gave me was a life of service. That's what he was. He was in service to the people who he loved. And while I am heartbroken that his life came to an abrupt end at 26, there's a part of me that is like, you know what? He made it count. And the legacy that he leaves behind is one that will be always remembered. Because here's the thing, none of us know the hour. We've heard it before, but in sitting with my cousins and his friends and his family and other members of his family, what I realized was that he used what he had to make this world a better place. And sometimes that was through um, watching his younger cousins. Sometimes that was through cutting grass. Sometimes, I mean, it was, he had a, listen, I learned a litany of things of the giver that he was. And so I really want to just offer this to his memory because his death was very tragic, and um, it really inspired me to be like, okay, what am I going to do with my life? Seriously, because, um, and here's the other thing. And I said divorce and death, but the other person who his death inspired me to live was my stepdad, Harvey Gray Anderson. If you know him, he would almost require that you would call him handsome Harv. Um, but he lived. If he wanted to go somewhere, do something, buy something, drink something, like eat something, he did it at the highest level with no apologies about it. I mean, and really try to instill in us, listen, you better live your life. And so when I think about the lives of those two people, one was on this earth a little bit longer, the other one not as much, but the impact was still massive. And so when I saw this quote, I was like, okay, our wounds are often the openings into the best and most beautiful parts of us. I was like, wow, that is really something. So the other thing that um, the other example of that was recently I listened to an interview with Lauren London, who was the fiance of Marathon. The marathon continues. His name escapes me. I'll think of it in a second. But to hear how she walked, because it ain't no running, skipping, hopping, or jumping. Like it was literally, she talks of how she literally put one foot in front of the other every day. To listen to how she walked through that process and the things that she had gleaned from that process was very impactful. And one of the things that I took from her interview was the fact that her healing was the most and still is the most important thing in her life. That she has a desire to live the life that God created her to live. And it was so inspirational from such tragedy because her fiance was tragically killed a few years ago. And so Nipsey Hussle was his name. You can look up the whole story if you haven't heard of Nipsey, but he left and still is living and still is leaving a huge legacy. And he would be one who I would say died too young. And I also realized that there are people who live to be 80, 90, 100 who don't have the impact that little Anthony and Nipsey had in their short times on this earth. And so I wanted to talk about this because um, I, this is just my own personal opinion, of course, because it's my podcast. But I think some of us get so locked into um, being the victim of a thing without realizing that you are a warrior and you always win. So, one of the things that I hear a lot of talk about on social media is this whole thing about relationships and narcissists and how the narcissist made you do this or the narcissist made you do that or how they made you do that. And no, no, because you are responsible for your life. And by you, I mean me. That in my past relationships and friendships, it was not the jacked up behavior of the person that is what I'm concerned about. It is the signs that I missed or ignored that something ain't quite right. That that is me getting what I need to get out of the experience that I am in. It ain't the jacked up behavior of other people. That ain't it. Because you're being a victim and you are no victim. It is looking at the situation and realizing, oh, you know what? I missed that flag. I missed that. Where else have I missed that in my life? Oh, right there, right there. Oh, got it. Okay, so these are the ways that that red flag has shown up in my life through my relationships, through my experiences. Okay, so when that comes up again, I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to pause, think about it, check in to see where I'm at, and take a moment to think about what my next decision, choice, or move is so that I can come off of automatic pilot and take a moment and and think about the experience that I want from this point forward. That's what it takes. That is what it means to get the the best and beautiful parts of ourselves. We don't get that by blaming other people. I'm sorry, but it ain't gonna happen. You are not going to know your strength. You are not going to know your tenacity while you are cowering under the the how other people maneuver in your life, because you have allowed that. And when we can accept responsibility, I'm gonna be doing a lot of quotes about responsibility because that is the key. You are responsible for your life. I am responsible for my life. And when we can look at it, when terrible things have happened in our lives, but we can get the beauty out of it, we can get the best parts out of it, that takes a little bit of the sting away. It allows me to be like, oh, okay, that happened. Got it. Okay, so here's an example. Um, so in this year, I have told myself that this is the year of me using my voice. So in my mind, I thought me using my voice was this podcast, and this was an example of me using my voice. What I did not know was that there's a whole nother side of me using my voice that means me standing up for myself, me protecting myself, me setting boundaries, which were the things that they don't feel all that great and fantastic and amazing for me. But that's the practice that I am in for this season. I am in the practice of learning how to use my voice to stand up for me. Now, it is not about the behavior of the person or people that are requiring me to stand up for myself. It don't have nothing to do with them, because really they are a gift, because they are the practice that I am using to stand up for myself. Do you see how that is? So, I'll give you a personal example. So I am in litigation with the condo that I used to have, the COA, because their roof damaged my ceiling and they don't want to pay for it. Now, I mean, it seems easy to me. Like, if you damage somebody's property, you got to pay for it. But that's not the case. And when I tell you, I have had to stand up for myself time and time and time again. But now I'm getting it. Now my back is a little straighter. Now my voice is a little more direct because I am learning that you did not keep up with your end of the bargain. And since you did not do that, this is what is required. Okay. So it's not so much about their behavior. The test is me. Am I going to use my voice to stand up for myself? And one thing that I got real quick was I'm going to get this lesson because I don't want to keep learning the lesson this way. I got it. Now, I don't have it in this perfect sense of I call it my insides feeling raw. Like that's never going to happen again because I have gotten the lesson of using my voice. And no. Because just a couple days ago, my insides was like, but I just took some deep breaths because I know this is about me using my voice. Grounded myself, took a few deep breaths, and I'm ready to get back in the ring. Because bad things can have beautiful endings. Okay? My marriage to my son's father ended, but I got a beautiful human being out of it. I don't even remember all that stuff I really do not. I don't even remember it because when I look at him, when I see him, or when I hear his voice, or when I get a text saying, "Hey, mama, have a good day," that's all I see because it was worth it. And so I really want to um, encourage you to. So let me get my hat. So listen, if y'all ain't looking at it on YouTube, y'all don't see my hat. But we're going to step into the coaching corner. And because I am a certified life coach, I want to leave you with a homework assignment, a task, a practice for you as it relates to this quote that says, "Our wounds are often the openings into the best and most beautiful parts of ourselves," by David Riche. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to think of one traumatic event that happened in your life. And if you're not ready to do that, think of one person who made you mad or upset, this, that, or the other, whatever the case is. One thing that you have been blaming somebody for. Write that down, the experience. Then I want you to think about at least 3 things that you learned as a result of that experience. Did you learn the value of you saying no? Did you learn the value of you having a schedule? Did you learn the value of you getting up on time? Did you learn the value of listening to your gut? Did you learn the value of putting yourself first? Did you learn the value of self-care? Did you learn the value of therapy? Anyway, you get the idea. What are some things that situation taught you about you, not about the jacked up behavior of other people? That ain't gonna help you. What did that situation teach you about you? And then let me know what that is. So listen, I'm super excited that I am super excited about this podcast and how it has evolved, and it has done such with such gentleness, ease, and grace. I love y'all. Connect with me on social media. I have also started a Patreon where I am going to be doing some practical healing exercises with you I think you can sign up for $9 a month. It's quick and easy for $9 a month. We're going to do some meditating, some just different activities that I would normally do with clients that you get to experience for $9 a month. So anyway, that's it. You want to listen to my theme song? My theme song? Here it goes.
And with the quote, we create kind humans who speak kindness, show kindness, be a kind human. Be a kind human.